Are you watching this video for DFS picks, this week's slate breakdowns, and special promotions and contests? Well, then you're in the right place. What's going on, fantasy football fans? I'm your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching The Couch. These are my Week 10 NFL DFS picks. Let's take a quick look at last week's winning team, Big Rum 44. Thanks for hitting me up. I just sent you that Carlos Hyde jersey, so you should be getting it real soon. I have a different promotion going on this week. I'll reveal that at the end of the video, how you can enter, all the details, so stay tuned. Now on to the picks. This week's gonna be tough at quarterback. I think you're gonna need to save up. There's a lot of wide receivers and running backs that are worth the value. There's also some pretty good defenses at mid-range and high-range prices that are going to be worth it. And I'd probably go with a cheap tight end, but there's a few top-tier tight ends as well that could be worth it if you want to spend up on a tight end. So let's try to save a little bit on quarterbacks. Instead of going with a lot of options like I do, and you guys are like, hurry up and pick a player. Pick 2-3 players and move on. At least that's what some people have been telling me. I'm going to just pick one quarterback. I'll talk about some others, but I'm going with Andy Dalton. I think for his value, his upside, and safety, he's going to be the best pick on DraftKings. 5,300, that's very cheap going against the Titans. Titans rush defense is okay. Their pass defense is not. Andy Dalton has not been great this year, so he's not a guy that you can completely trust, but is he going to return value? The answer is definitely yes. Matthew Stafford is 6,800. He is the safest quarterback to get. This week, I'm going to be fading him in all GPPs because I don't see this game having the potential of being a shootout. That's what we want in GPPs. Look, he's not going to need to throw a ton in the fourth quarter and third quarter. The Lions should have a big lead against the Browns, but at the same time, I think it's worth talking about him. The Lions, they love to throw the ball. They throw the ball well. Stafford is a really good quarterback. Tate is awesome. Marvin Jones has been amazing. So I like him, but not that much. I don't love the upside, but if you can afford it, you can go ahead and pick Stafford in a cash game. I do like that pick for the safety. I got Jared Goff on my notes. It's going to be a high-scoring game between the Rams and Texans. And Matt Ryan, I wanted to talk about him, but I'm not going to. He hasn't been that good this year. Well, I'm talking about him now. I get it, but I mean, like, I'm vouching for Andy Dalton. That's my one pick, but I wanted to go over some other quarterbacks. So Matt Ryan is 6,500 going against the Cowboys. Could be a high-scoring game, but Matt Ryan hasn't been that good this year. There's a lot of risk because I don't trust Matt Ryan. And well, you could say, well, there's, how do you trust Andy Dalton? Well, it's 1,200 cheaper, and that's why I trust that. I'm not going to be spending as much. So look, Andy Dalton is 1,200 cheaper than Matt Ryan, and that would make him 1,400 cheaper than Jared Goff and 1,500 cheaper than Matthew Stafford. Okay, whenever you hear somebody say, or at least me say, I'm going to keep it short, or I'm only talking about one guy, it's never going to be true. I'm going to talk about a lot of players and not going to keep it short. I think it's just the way the world works. I love Le'Veon Bell as a running back. Who doesn't? But at 9,800, let's talk about some other players. My go-to guy, my go-to stud running back is going to be Leonard Fournette. Priced at 8,400. He should be fresh. He was injured. He was benched. He had a bye week. He hasn't played in 3 weeks. I think he'll be dedicated, he'll be determined, and he's going to be a great pick in DFS. I mean, excellent. The price tag is definitely worth it. Look, Le'Veon Bell, love it, but 9,800, you could save 1,400 and go with Fournette if you're going to pick a stud. I absolutely love this pick. We know he's going to get fed the ball. We know he has a lot of upside, a good floor. He's amazing. Even when they stack the box, he does incredibly well. Now, my one guy that's priced around the mid-range is Jordan Howard. Absolutely love this running back and love this price. Priced at only 6,100, going against a very soft Green Bay Packers rush defense. And on top of that, we're not going to see this often, guys. The Green Bay Packers are at home and they're favored to win. You're not going to see that often, especially against the Packers. I love this pick. It's a standout pick to me. It screams pick me. How could it not? Let's go to some cheap guys. A lot of people like Darkwa this week, and so do I. Priced at $4,500. How could you not? He's going against the 49ers. They allow the most fantasy points to the running back position, and this week they should go to Darkwa. They should feed him the ball. I don't see him getting less than 21 carries. It's not going to happen. Darkwa is going to have an amazing day. And at that price, that value, it's going to be very hard to ignore. By the way, the Giants are favored to win, but not by a super blowout either. I don't think they have enough offensive power to have a major 2 or 3 touchdown lead and put in all their scrubs and all their backups, which is kind of what they have going on right now. Let me mention a few other guys really quick. So if Forte is out and he hasn't been practicing this week, or at least hasn't been practicing much, Bilal Powell should get the start. That'll be an excellent punt, good value play, 4,000 going against the Bucks. The Bucks are a horrible team. For GPPs, I like Tariq Cohen. There's no safety involved in this, but DraftKings is full PPR, and I like the upside with Tariq Cohen. He really hasn't been good since the beginning of the season, and that's why I like him for GPPs. He's going to be forgotten, but I think he could be one of the main receivers for the Bears, especially now that Zach Miller is out. And also for GPPs, I wanted to put down Elijah McGuire just in case Forte is out, and let's change it up a little bit, right? Let's say you're picking Powell in 2 out of 3 lineups. Maybe you submit another lineup, and then you go one with McGuire just to change it up, just to have a little variety, right? Antonio Brown is a good player. We all know that, especially now that there's not a lot of good wide receivers, especially elite stud wide receivers. They're all declining with Rodgers hurt and Watson hurt, so on and so forth. Of course, Antonio Brown is awesome, but let's go over some guys that may not be as popular. I think AJ Green at 7,700 is going to be the steal of all the wide receivers. That price is super cheap. He had a bad game last week, but I think we all know what happened. He was defended by Jalen Ramsey, one of the most elite corners in the league. I would say he's a top 3 cornerback in the league. He got in his head. He got ejected out the game. He didn't do well. Okay, we know the story. This week, he's not facing Jalen Ramsey. He's facing the Titans. And of course, since I talked about Andy Dalton and recommended him, I'm also going to go ahead and recommend a Dalton AJ Green stack. Golden Tate at 6,800 is one of those, like, you have to pay up for that floor. He has an excellent floor, excellent safety, a guy you can trust. It's up to you though if you want to spend that much. I think it's a little too much to spend in my opinion. But then again, like, if you have that available salary and at that price range, like, it's a big difference between him and Antonio Brown, right? So if you can't get Antonio Brown and you have a good amount of salary cap left over, you can go with Golden Tate. The safety's definitely there. Moving on to some medium priced guys. Sterling Shepard at 5,500. Cooper Kupp at 4,600. I think out of all the wide receivers on the Rams, he is the safest. I think he'll get quality targets. I see him getting at least 7 targets this game. And if he gets in the end zone, that's going to definitely return value for you. I like Kupp. If he was priced any higher, I wouldn't be recommending him to you, but at only 4,600, not too bad. Let's go to my ultimate GPP wide receiver pick, and that's Martavis Bryant. 3,900. We saw Vontae Davis, the Colts cornerback, got cut. They only have one good cornerback in my opinion. What's his name? What is his name? Melvin? Something like that. Melvin or something like that. He's been playing quite well. But depending on who's going to defend who, all Martavis Bryant needs in this game is that one big catch, and that could change it at only 3,900. I just want to reiterate, only for GPPs, guys. You don't want to pick him for a cash game. It's too risky. But what do we like in GPPs? We love risk. We love upside. And another incredible GPP pick is Taylor Gabriel. Taylor Gabriel hasn't been getting a lot of targets. He hasn't had a lot of consistently. He's flat out not had too much production as far as fantasy goes. But one thing he does have is upside. He has big play potential. We've seen him have one or two okay games this year, and we've seen him have some really good games last year. But if you remember, it was only a small sample size. He only balled out 3 or 4 games last year. And this could be the game where he balls out. Maybe he only balls out 1 game this year. This could be it. Keep in mind, 3,500, super cheap, basically a punt. I'd probably only pick him in GPP. Like, he's not my cash game relief guy. I think you have to do some working around. I wouldn't really recommend him in cash games. Not a lot of good punts this week for wide receivers, but I have one, and that's Tavares King, New York Giants wide receiver, purely on this list just because he's basically minimum price, nothing more than a punt. And for the tight end position, feel free to spend up on Gronk or Evan Ingram. Both these guys are going to be worth it at $7,000 and $6,200. But let's be realistic, it's going to be really hard to set your salary caps this week. It's going to be tough. And that's why I really recommended a guy like Andy Dalton. There were some other quarterbacks cheaper than Dalton, but I didn't have much trust at all. Like, I had almost no trust in him, like Fitzpatrick and Tom Savage. I can't do it. I can't recommend those guys. I can't pick them. So it's going to be worth it to pick those 2 tight ends. Like, they're really good. But realistically, it might be tough to make it work in the salary cap. Now, here's one guy. This is my ultimate tight end pick. And this is for GPPs. We love GPPs, right? That's what we play for. I love GPPs. I play GPPs every week. I absolutely love them. So I'm going with Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Now, why would I pick him? Because he hasn't had a good game a little bit. So last week he didn't have a good game statistically. Okay? His price is not that cheap. It's kind of like the price range that I would put on a guy that people could overlook. Like, it doesn't scream out to me. It doesn't stand out. He's going to have a great game against the Bucs, okay? And look at this. This is another reason too. There's so many reasons why this guy's a good GPP pick. We all know that if a player balls out the week before, has a great game, his ownership's going to go up tremendously, like 10%, 15%, even more, 20% more ownage than the previous week if he balls out. That's just the way it works. And look at this, guys. On paper, so when you go on DraftKings and look at it, let's look at Austin Seferian-Jenkins going against the Bucs. It says the Bucs are really good at stopping the tight end position. They allow the 6th least amount of fantasy points against the tight end position. But if you look a little bit further, some people don't do this. They didn't play some good tight ends. They played some teams where the tight end were banged up. Like, they played the Patriots that one week, I'll never forget it, that Gronk was out and they had 0 points. They didn't even throw to a tight end. I remember exactly because I was panicking in one league where I had Gronk in a season long league. I pick up freaking Dwayne Allen and he gets 0 points. So when you get a big goose when you play against the Patriots, you have 0 points at the tight end position, that's going to skew the stats. Just imagine if Gronk was 80, 90% or 100% healthy that game. I'm sure the Bucs wouldn't allow the 6th least amount of fantasy points to that position. Okay, moving on from the ASJ show. I want to talk really quickly about Jason Witten. This is a rare occasion. If this happens, it probably won't. But if Dez and or Terrence Williams misses this Week 10 game against the Falcons, Witten's value goes skyrocketing. We already know that Zeke isn't going to play. I like Austin Hooper in GPPs, priced really cheap. Only in GPPs though. We all know we can't trust Austin Hooper. He's up, he's down, that's how it goes. And I do have one punt that I do like this week though, and that's Garrett Selleck, the 49ers tight end. The 49ers will not have a good game this week, but they're going to be throwing the ball. They have to, right? They're going to have to throw the ball at some point. And who's going to get targets? No Garcon, no Taylor, no Kittle. This is an excellent punt. If you're looking for cheap tight ends, if you're looking for extreme value, this is how you're going to make the salary cap work, by picking a guy like Garrett Selleck. Just so you know for sure, Garrett Selleck is the starting tight end for the 49ers this week. Lots of defenses to pick from. Man, this is going to be tough. I'll try to go as fast as I can and let you know where I stand on this, and try to give defenses for certain price ranges. Jaguars D, I love them, but I think the #1 defense that I project to get the most points this week is the Lions D. They're going against the Browns, and this is why I'm not vouching for Stafford as much as I would, because I don't think this is going to be a shootout. Matter of fact, I think the Lions defense is going to crush the Browns. The Browns offense, hey, it might see better days later on this year and next year. It's not going to be this week. #1 projected fantasy points for me is going to be the Lions. They're also, I think, the second highest priced defense too, so keep that in mind. And another top 3 defense this week, though, is the Steelers. So just in case you can't fit in that extra 100 for the salary cap, make it work, you got the Steelers D. That's still a top 3 defense. They're facing the Colts. I don't think the Colts are going to do anything. The only way this is going to happen is if Jacoby Brissett miraculously makes a play while using his legs, or there's something happens in the secondary and T.Y. Hilton gets loose. Like, they're going to need a miracle and a half to not be horrible. So those are the elite defenses. We have the Patriots at 3,400 playing against the Brock Osweilers. I like that. Patriots defense, in my previous video, if you've seen it, Patriots defense has been awful the first 4 weeks, but since then, the next 4 games, they've actually been really good. Like, I mean, really good. And the Broncos are going to likely need to throw the ball in the 4th quarter or 3rd quarter. I like the Patriots D. The price isn't that great, though. I think there's some more better value picks like the Giants D. The Giants D, 3,200. See, this is a great value pick. The Giants D should play very well against the Niners. I absolutely love this. Should be a low-scoring game. And some more alternate options. We have the Bears D at 3,000 going against the Packers. We already talked about this game a little bit. The New York Jets going against the Buccaneers, only 2,800. See, that's the thing, is like, I don't think the Jets D is that much different. Like, I wouldn't say significantly worse or significantly better than the Patriots or Giants. So that's why I really wanted to mention the Jets D. Only 2,800 going against the Bucs. Of course, no Jameis Winston, he's injured, and no Mike Evans, he's suspended. That's 2 huge blows to the Bucs offense. Now, can I give you one punt? It was almost impossible to find a punt this week, and I know I've been pretty good with my defensive punts. I'm going to go with the Bills D at 2,400. Do not pick the Bills D in a cash game. Don't do it. Cash games are 50-50s, double ups, and head-to-heads. Don't do it. I think it's too risky, but I wanted to give you one punt, one risky defense, one high upside defense. If the Bills can stop the Saints' rushing attack, they have a huge shot at pulling this off and returning value for your squad. So guys, here's the promotion this week. I want all of you to go and join the NFL $1.35 million play action contest. First place winner gets a $100,000 cash prize. Yes, that's for real. It's only $3 to enter, so why not enter? Also, if it's your first time playing on DraftKings, you never played there before, you deposit $5 or more, you get free entry. It's an awesome deal, awesome promotion, awesome contest, guys. Follow the link below to enter. Quick announcement about the weekly YouTube schedule. Every Tuesday, new waiver wire video. Every Friday, new DFS video with a promotion or contest like the one you're watching right now. And every Saturday, I'm going to try to keep this up. I will be going live. So I'll be doing a YouTube live session at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit the couch icon over here. Like the video, leave a comment below if you're gonna ask a question. Of course, use hashtag AskTheBrain. That way I know you're a true Fantasy Couch fan. I'll see you guys on the next YouTube live stream or / video.